All right, now we have Kent Forbes here, who is running for the RSU 39 board. Kent, do you want to say a little bit about yourself before we get into the questions?
Well, I've lived in Caribou my whole life. My family's been here 180 years. We haven't gone very far. Been proud of our community and whatnot. Decided, I don't know, it's been a long time, 15, 16, 17 years ago, to get involved with the school department. You know, was with the Caribou School Department, now helped through the transition to the RSU, and you know, just want to continue helping out with all the projects I work on.
All right. So why did you run for the RSU 39 board?
Well, I think when you live in a small town like this, that everybody needs to be a little civic-minded to some degree, whether or not it's you're involved with your Boy Scouts or your town or you know, everybody needs to give back. If nobody gives back, what happens to your community? So I decided, I had young kids in school then, I decided the school was what I was interested in. I'm very passionate with the tech center and stuff up there. And just decided that the school was going to be my civic duty for a while.
All right. So what experiences do you bring that you think will help you on the RSU 39 board?
Well, what I bring is I've been self-employed basically my whole life. I laugh and tell people I've never had a real job. I've just always gone out and created my own job. You know, so I've worked with every aspect of a company, from a startup to getting it operational, and all the parts of the employees and the budgets and everything that goes along with that. But now what I bring is the experience. You know, I've been involved with all the budgetary processes and the negotiation processes, and you know, the history of becoming an RSU, and that's the part that I bring to the table now.
All right. Do you think the budget process is transparent enough to voting taxpayers? Why or why not?
Well, I guess that's a loaded question. I mean, when the school department does their budget, all of our meetings are open to the public. They are advertised in the paper. To be honest with you, we never get anybody shows up. You know, when we finally present it to the council, quite often there's a lot of questions there. There's never a closed door policy when we're doing these budgets. It's not something that's built behind closed doors. So to get it any more transparent, when you invite people in, they don't come. I guess I don't know how to answer that, because we're inviting people in. You know.
Okay. Would you be in favor of having the budget figures available at the voting booth with comparisons to previous years?
Well, the numbers are there anyways, right? Because with the school department, we vote on 14 or 17 different line items, and those numbers are there. Mm-hmm. What are you saying? You asked me if the whole budget book was there so people could leaf through line by line, or what are you asking me?
Yeah, I would say that.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe not every single one.
Right. I would rather, if people wanted to see line by line items, they went beforehand. Mm-hmm. You know, instead of having this all at the voting place. I don't know if that's the place to get your. You know, I guess I would rather see people informed before they got there.
Okay.
You know, come in and to some of these budgets and see the figures there.
Okay. Sounds good. So, how do you think the proposed new school building will benefit the education of our children?
Well, I like the idea of the kids going to school in pre-K and staying with the same building, same theoretic administrators and everything through their career till they get to 8th grade. You know, there's not so much transition between grades level of going to a different school, and that's, to some kids, that's a little traumatic. Mm-hmm. You know, they get to know the duty aides, they get to know all the people all the way up through. Also, then, you know, the department can offer, you know, take art, you know, we can offer it all the way up through, maybe, where if there's 3 different buildings, it's hard to juggle, you know, there's not enough money to have an art teacher in each school, per se. I don't know if that's a fact, I'm just using that for an example. Mm-hmm. You know, so we can have more programs under one roof than you can under 3 roofs. So it can help the education there, and it can help, and, you know, the fluid movement of the kids through the class, through the grades.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just been an honor to serve the citizens of Caribou and the RSU.
All right. Sounds great.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, RSU 39 candidate Bethany Anderson was unable to make it today, so I'll be reading her answers in her absence. The first question, why did you run for the RSU 39 board? Bethany's answer, I have time to devote to public service and the need for dedication to tasks. My family enjoys civic and charitable work. Second question, what experiences do you bring that will help you on the RSU board? Her answer, I have been both in education and in business, and am a lifelong resident of Caribou. And the next question, is the budget process transparent enough to voting taxpayers? Why or why not? Her answer, when state and federal money is involved, the budgeting process can become more complex and regulatory. Taxpayers can attend meetings and ask questions or contact members of the board. The paper can publish synopses of meetings and live coverage and can be put on Channel 9. Transparency means voters pay attention through available options. Question 4. Would you be in favor of having the budget figures available at the voting booth with comparisons to previous years? And her answer, there is no reason not to have a comparison. If requested, it's simply another transparency option or reference tool. Ideally, it should be published before voting day so voting booth decisions are as informed as possible. And the final question, how will the proposed new school building benefit the education of our children? And her answer, it would benefit them in terms of safety and wellness. Education is dependent on an exemplary, enthusiastic staff. A decent building shows Caribou can make a smart investment in our city's most valuable resource, our children.